Kind of a tough day for half of the Roush Fenway camp. The last caution was for his teammate Matt Kenseth in the 17.
Let's open pit road once more. It's still too soon to get them to the finish on this pit stop. What's going to happen, Steve?
What's going to happen in the 33 is they're going to change 4 tires, Mike, and this will be the last time they take tires in this race. So that's what the strategy is for Clint Bowyer.
Not everybody stops. Truex, Trevor Bayne, Dale Jr. stay out. So do Logano and Busch and Kurt Busch.
But those are all drivers that was just in on pit road about 5 laps ago, Krista.
That's right, and Murray's so concerned with his teammate. The first thing he said was, Montoya okay, how's his car? They said, he is fine, come in for your 4 tires. Matt?
14 for Paul Menard in 4 years. Impressive run today. He just stalled the car, refires and he's away. They didn't pit the previous time, and it was gas only before that, so he should be good to go.
Looks like 13 drivers stayed on track, led by Martin Truex Jr. We had so much fun watching Cars that Cars 2 is going to be released nationwide in June. Spies, intrigue, European racing. Will Darrell Cartrip be back?
I think so. I think he will.
You had a lot of fun doing that. I'm jealous.
It's the most fun you can have.
The Daytona 500 is sponsored by Goodyear, the official tire of NASCAR. Goodyear, more driven. By Disney Pixar's new 3D movie Cars 2 in theaters June 24th. And by AT&T. Rethink possible.
Ready to go green, and the hardest working man in Daytona is that bright green car in the outside lane, Mark Martin. He was in the lap 30 crash, and at one point he was 3 laps down. He's gotten a couple of the free passes. He's back on the lead lap. He's up there in 8th place. It's his 27th try to win the 500. Can he make it?
Yeah, and guess what his motivation is? He's never won it before.
Green flag. 54 laps to go. And still 27 cars on the lead lap.
Boy, Dale Jr., he just forced Trevor Bayne up off the bottom there and said, I'm coming through, dude. You got to move out my way.
And for a minute, he didn't have a dance partner, and then those 2 Gibbs cars, Kyle Busch in the 18, Joey Logano on the 20, jumped right down behind him.
But the 21, I mean, he has fallen like a rock because of that. He lost his momentum. He's in the middle back there behind Martin Truex right there.
Plenty of time, and Larry, one more pit stop?
Yeah, whether you stop that time or not, still one more stop.
Say this, do you feel it? Do you feel it? The intensity is starting to really ramp up.
3 wide, about 8 deep. Here they come.
Mike, you just talked about him. Mark Martin in that 5 car pushing Kurt Busch to the lead. He was in that big wreck that we had back on lap 29. And how about Kyle Busch in the 18? He was our first caution back on lap 4, spun out in front of half the field.
Man, there's some nervous cars back in there, Larry. I see a lot of cars shaking around, moving, getting loose, getting in the corner. Woo.
Everybody positioning and trying to find a drafting partner.
Now that's a pair, right? That would be a good pair right there.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. with Regan Smith.
78. Like that little combination.
We got 2 of the Roush Fenway cars that's left in the race. David Reagan in the 6, Carl Edwards in the 99, starting to line up there on the bottom of the racetrack.
58 lead changes in this Daytona 500, 2 shy of the record, as Dale Earnhardt Jr. brings them across with Regan Smith. Kyle Busch and Joey Logano, teammates.
Regan Smith has been a player ever since we got here. He has been at the front of the pack, sitting in a winning spot a couple of times. Good shape right now. Hooked up to the back of that 88 car, Dale Jr.
His best career finish, Smith's best career finish, 12th 3 times. Now, he was the first to cross the line in 2008 at Talladega, but was judged to have passed below the yellow line, and the win was taken away. Tony Stewart went to victory lane.
You know, a couple of drivers that raced against each other a lot in sprint cars. They're starting to team up there. Casey Kane in the 4, Tony Stewart in the 14.
over the next, I don't know, 15 laps or so, you'll find out who's got what. These guys been riding around a little bit, maybe saving a little bit, making a charge.
Look at the closing rate. Look how fast the cars pushing each other went past Logano and Busch when they were not pushing each other.
But what I'm seeing, DW, is now people are starting to find different partners than what they worked with most of the race.
Yes, sir. It looks that way, Larry, especially these front two here. And then there's a Brad Keselowski in there, and he's got Boyer right behind him. And whoa, that's a little edgy getting into turn 3 right there. Mark in the middle in the green car. Mark Martin.
Working with Kurt Busch, the 22. And out front, Earnhardt and Smith continue to try to run away from the field.
I don't think they can get away, but man, they sure do have a big lead. Biggest lead we've seen in quite some time.
Greg Biffle checked and released from the infield care center after bringing out the caution at lap 142.
You know, Mike, you talked about the lead changes. We still have roughly 25% of this race to go.
19 different leaders, 2 off the record. 58 lead changes, 2 off the record. Let's check back and see how your Pizza Hut fan favorite driver is doing. Well, we don't have to check back, we have to check forward. Dale Earnhardt Jr. out front.
You know, Dale Earnhardt Jr. told the media earlier in the week.
56 and 21 are going to get up beside that 2 and 33. There are 3 behind him with a run, 2 behind him, big run behind him now. They're almost to the 78. So make sure you stay in his bumper there. Side by side, 2 back from him. 56-21 on the outside, 2-33 on the bottom. He's still clear. 56-21 got a big run on the outside. Just make sure they don't pull you apart. Big run coming on the outside from them 2. There's still 2 behind him. 1 behind him. 1 behind him. I'm going to watch him in the corner here. Make sure you guys stay attached. That's what they've been doing to people. 3 behind you, 3 behind him, 3 behind him, side by side back there. Still good job.
Sounds like a horse race.
Well, actually, it sounds more like air traffic control.
Yeah,
the calm voice of the spotter giving you all the information without any of the excitement.
But there you see 93 races since that last win. He told the media, I just know with the right formula, the right chemistry and communication, which I think you'll have with what was the 24 team last year, he said, I can get back to where I was a few years ago as far as winning races.
Around the outside and to the lead comes Ryan Newman with Denny Hamlin's Toyota pushing Newman's Chevrolet. 47 laps to go in the Daytona 500 on Fox.
Super slow-mo. Super slow-mo on the replay. That's pretty cool.
He even watches NASCAR on Fox.
Yeah, on the caution flag, Dale Jr. could look over and see the replay on the big video screen.
I wouldn't be so sure he doesn't have a TV in that car.
He might. Wonder if he has a view of Digger.
Get back in there.
Ryan Newman, Denny Hamlin were out front last time by. Regan Smith, Dale Earnhardt Jr., Martin Truex. Regan Smith now hooked up with Earnhardt Jr.
Get right here for long, boys. I'm telling you.
3 Chevys and a Toyota out front. The 2007 winner, Kevin Harvick, has tweeted that he is back home after falling out of the race with a blown engine. 42nd place. Harvick says, sounds like a wild race.
What it is, I don't see nothing.
38 car hit the wall.
Kevin, it is a wild race, and into the wall for the 3rd time today. Travis Quapple, caution waves for the 12th time.
Mike, what this caution does, you got to make sure you get that car full of fuel. This puts you right there where you can get to the end, but just remember, you always have the chance of green-white checkers.
Oh, I'd almost guarantee that.
Probably the first time Quapple hit the wall did enough damage to cause the second 2 times, and been a tough day for Front Row Motorsports, as it has been for several teams today. Hendrick Motorsports, 3 of their 4 cars taken out early. Richard Childress Racing, 2 engine failures. Roush Racing, 2 cars out and 2 consecutive accidents, and Michael Waltrip Racing, 2 cars out in the same wreck. Jimmy Johnson continues 20 laps down. Jeff Gordon 35 laps off pace, but trying to pile up as many points as possible. Under the new system, each position gained is 1 point. And when we get down to crunch time at Richmond to decide which 12 cars get in the chase, that could be pivotal.
Pit road was closed that time, so you know every lap they run now, that will put probably about everybody coming to pit road and put some in the fuel window to make it to the end.
Going to give me any tires, or you just going to make me finish on these?
You got what you got, partner.
All right.
And that right front torn apart in Travis Kvapil's car.
That is some cool shots, though. Wow.
Huge crowd on hand here for the Daytona 500. Here is Ryan Newman getting ready as pit road will be open this time. Somewhere up there is Jack Hagee. He's 84 years old, and Daytona Records found that he was the one person to have bought a ticket and attended every Daytona 500. Last April he had a fall. He hadn't been feeling well up in Lexington, North Carolina, but this week the doctors cleared him, and Richard Childress Racing's David Hart got him on one of the team planes to come down here and keep his streak intact.
Aw, that is so cool.
Got his picture made earlier in the day with Richard Petty, the king.
So hats off to Richard Childress and his team. Just another example of how the folks in racing band together and do good things often unnoticed for a lot of folks within and without the sport.
Well, this is a good break for these guys. Get their breath, maybe get a drink, wipe the sweat off your brow, sit up in that seat, tighten them belts up, Larry.
I think that's what they all better do.
Because I think things are getting ready to pick up.
You know, we've all been here a long time coming to this racetrack, but one of our spotters, Larry Dye, this is Larry's 50th Daytona 500. And his 30th on the roof for either CBS or Fox or whoever's televising the race. Okay, pit road's open, and here they all come, Steve.
Mike, fuel only for Ryan Newman. Crew chief Tony Gibson said, leave on me, old man. Fuel only for the 39 of Ryan Newman, Krista.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. will arc in a little bit to avoid debris on pit road. We need 5 seconds of fuel. Crew chief Steve Letarte told him, so let's go ahead and put on right side tires. The lefts are staying on all day. Matt?
Topping off the 22 of Kurt Busch with fuel. He says he just wasn't feeling the mojo, so to speak, as he told Steve Addington, working with Mark Martin. So look for Busch to possibly work with the 78 of Smith this next segment.
And I believe Brad Keselowski missed his pit.
He couldn't get in it. The 21 was in, the 20 was in. He couldn't get into his pit box. 32 car got down here, got turned around in his pit box. This whole thing is, it's confusing to me because this pit road is wider and better than it's ever been.
Hamlin's coming out. There's Trevor Bayne just squeaking in. Keselowski trying to get to his pit. Can't make the turn.
Couldn't do it.
He locked up the brake to miss Hamlin.
Yeah, when you've got 27 cars on the lead lap and they're only stopping for about 3 or 4 seconds, it makes it hard to get in. Dick Berggren, how about our 20-year-old, though?
Yeah, how about that? Trevor Bayne had his 20th birthday yesterday, and 6 drivers have won their very first NASCAR Sprint Cup race here in the Daytona 500. This kid has run well enough today. He could well win again on his pit stop. It was fuel only. They were really focused on getting the tank full so he could go to the end and not need another pit stop.
Dick, only one driver in history has won his first start in the Daytona 500. Lee Petty won the first Daytona 500, so that had to be his first start
You had
in the
my
race.
wheels spinning.
Yeah. Like Jeopardy or something.
40 laps to go in the great American race.